Loss in and of itself is a traumatic experience for any of us. But losing someone that we love, someone that we hold close and dear to us, can be one of the most challenging things that you will ever experience in your life. And I don't want to minimize that for you because it's very, very traumatic and it can be. And so we need to acknowledge that, and I want you to recognize that. We have a tendency as part of the human condition to want to end our suffering. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to experience loss. We don't want to go through pain and anguish and anger and fear and uncertainty. We don't want to experience any of that. And the response that a lot of us will do, including myself, is begin the grief process in avoidance, trying to just get back to life, push the feelings down, hope that they ultimately will go away so that you can just say, I'm okay and I'm going to be okay. We don't like suffering, but suffering doesn't necessarily have to be all bad. There are times in our lives when suffering can teach us some things, and it'll make us search for more meaning. It will cause us to want to grow and want to explore new things. And I was very fortunate to have somebody in my life who pushed me to look into my suffering, to learn more about what was going on, and to basically just expand my perspective. And for me, there's a lot of people that I've learned about and followed, and I share a lot of them with you. But today I want to talk specifically about Pema Chodron. And if you don't know her, she's definitely very popular, so you can find her anywhere. But she experienced a lot of suffering in her life, and she went through a couple different divorces that really sent her for a loop and looking for meaning and what was really the purpose for her life. And it sent her to Buddhism, and it sent her to become a monk. And today she uses all the principles and experiences that she has learned and experienced to help all of us and to help teach us how to embrace suffering and how to look at our suffering, our personal suffering in grief and in loss, in a way that might be different than, what comes naturally to us. So again, I mentioned, going through this grief process for you may be one of the most challenging things that you've ever faced. And part of that is because it's new and it's different, and we don't necessarily have the tools and skills to process our own emotions and thoughts and grief, and that's okay. But in order to heal, what Pema teaches is that suffering doesn't necessarily have to be bad. That there is a learning and lessons that can come out of suffering that can force growth, can give you new perspectives, and can really help you deal with the process of grief and grieving. So what she discusses is being able to lean in to your grief. So stop trying to push your grief away. Stop trying to tell yourself that I'm fine, that everything's going to be okay, that eventually this is just going to get better. Instead, she says, give it a minute and sit still and let the feelings of grief wash over you, without pushing them away, because they aren't necessarily bad. It's part of our human condition. It's part of the human experience. And all of us are going to be on this planet for a limited period of time. And when our time is up, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a week, maybe in 20 years, maybe longer, then we will transition to something new, and we'll figure that out once we get there. Lots of people have lots of opinions. But the idea is to not run away from your suffering, to not push the pain away, to lean into it, to spend some time in thought saying, yeah, I'm really angry today, or, you know, I'm really fearful because I haven't been alone before. And I don't know what that's going to be like for me. And can I do it? And can I handle it? And all of these reactions are perfectly normal and expected. And if you just continue to lean in and to feel them, it's going to help you get to a point where you can accept what has happened and where you can really begin to heal and decide how you're going to live your life without your loved one. Now, everything that I try to do here at Grief Inspired is really to help ease your suffering, to give you the tools that you need so that you're not staying stuck, and to encourage you to continue to look within, look for inner growth, look at all the resources that are around you and the different views and the different perspectives that people have. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to adopt all of them, but taking a moment to understand other people's points of view will really help get you to where you want to go, which is an understanding of why this happened, why it happened to you. And now that it has happened, what do you do about it? So Pema Chodron, she wrote a book, and I want to get the title right. It's called When Things Fall Apart, Heart Advice for Difficult Times. So that's her book where she really explores the topic. So if you're interested in that, I want to encourage you to get her book and explore it more. But if not, that's okay too. I want you to continue to look within and jot down what you're feeling. Try to get it out. Know that you're not alone, that you're going to be okay, and that this is part of the process. This is the human experience that maybe you didn't sign up for, but this is the one you have. And everything can't be rosy all of the time. It's just unrealistic. And so the time that you're experiencing right now is hard. I get it. It's challenging. You may feel like you're never going to pull yourself out of this, but the reality is that you will. And by understanding the pain and understanding what we call bad or not great, it's going to help you to appreciate the times when things are good. And it's going to remind you to be grateful for what you have and to know that when you're blessed, because without the pain, there wouldn't be joy, because you can't have one without the other. So I'm praying for you right now. This is a difficult time. Know that you're going to get through it. Comment what's going on with you below. Let me know how I can help. That's why I'm here. Let me know if there's questions that are popping up for you. Please subscribe to my channel so I can continue to do more of these videos for you. And again, it's all part of the process, but you're going to be okay. So my name is Catherine McNulty, and my goal is to make sure that you can be grief inspired too. Have a great day today. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.